Welcome back to the 411 Podcasting Network. I am your host, Larry Csonka, and this is episode 29 of the 411 on Wrestling Podcast. You can follow us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, and of course the 411mania.com website. Please make sure to subscribe and share the show around if you have a chance, and also leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Today I am joined by the good brother Jeremy Lambert. Jeremy, how are you?
I am doing well. It feels like it's been a while, Larry.
I know it does. It's odd. Yeah, we did a bunch of shows kind of like tightly together, and then I got to run the Steve Cook ECW Raw episode we talked about, and yeah, but that's okay. We're gonna be getting back into the swing of things because we got Stomping Grounds and we got G1 to talk about, and then we'll have Best in the World and Fighter Fest and all kind of stuff. Slammiversary after that, and the G1 and. Yeah, it's going to be a busy time.
The break was kind of nice from all the usual wrestling madness because it's going to get crazy in the summer and then it's going to get even crazier in the fall.
Yes, it is. And but that is good for us.
It's very good for us. I'm fine with more stuff to cover because that's more money in our pockets.
That is right. So today, like I said, we're going to talk Stomping Grounds and the New Japan G1 stuff that's been announced. And yeah, it'll be a good time had by all. So Jeremy, let us start with the show that is apparently going to kick ass and take names, because they've said it like 900 times. WWE Stomping Grounds, which is unfortunately not presented to us by the Lugs Boot of the Week. And we will start off. We have SmackDown Tag Team Champions Daniel Bryan and Rowan defending against Heavy Machinery. Your thoughts?
It's too early to take the titles off of Bryan and Rowan. They should build this whole division around them because this division sucks on the SmackDown side. Like, I can't name you another tag team outside of these guys. So they should keep going with Bryan and Rowan here. Match probably won't be much of anything because I don't think it'll be long enough to be much of anything. Bryan will do good work. Otis is over. I'll give them that. This guy is very charismatic and the crowd is into him. Heavy Machinery as a team, their actual work isn't... Like, I've never seen them in an actual long match, and so I can't judge them on that. But Bryan's good. He'll make anybody look good. It'll probably be fine for what it is, and hopefully they keep the titles on Bryan and Rowan.
Yeah, I agree. I would not take the titles off of Bryan and Rowan right now. First of all, they're a way better team than I ever expected them to be. I actually really enjoy the dynamic. I think they work well together. Number two, there's just too much potential still to work out with their title run. I think you can still do a lot more with them. I think Heavy Machinery, they're fun, and I think they'll be working hard because this is a big test for them in their first major pay-per-view match. I mean, it's WWE, so I wouldn't rule out the title change, but I think it would be a mistake. So hopefully they don't do it. But I think the match will probably be fun. Bryan and Rowan have been good, and like I said, I think Heavy Machinery will work hard.
Yeah, agreed.
Next up, Cruiserweight Champion Tony Nese versus Drew Gulak versus Akira Tozawa. Back on June 11th on 205 Live, there was a Fatal 5-Way for the number one contendership. Gulak and Tozawa were battling up top, and they did the old superplex into the double pin finish. Instead of just having them face off to get one contender, they just announced this week that they both won, and that they're both getting title shots. So there you go, and normally that kind of annoys me, but Gulak is really great, Tozawa is really great, so I don't so much mind. The story going in was Nese really wanted to face Tozawa because he wanted to test himself and prove that he could hang with the former champion. He has a ton of history with Gulak, and I like Gulak coming back with the new attitude, and he doesn't give a shit about making 205 Live better anymore. He just wants to be the best Drew Gulak, and he's going to do that shit by any means necessary. Tony Nese has been fine as champion, but they haven't given him a chance to really set the world on fire by any means. And I would not be surprised if they pulled a title change here, and if they do, it would be Gulak, I think, for the best. Your thoughts?
I'd I'd be a little surprised if it was a title change, simply because it seems like on the 205 Live side they kind of like these longer title runs. Nice certainly hasn't lit the world on fire, but he got like Davari in his first title defense, and nothing against that guy, but no one really saw him as a credible challenger. So Gulak and Tozawa are certainly much more credible challengers for him. Match should be good. 205 Live matches typically deliver, even if they don't get a ton of time. It'll be in the pre-show death slot, I'm sure, which sucks, but they'll work hard. They'll get the crowd into it. Yeah, I think Nice wins. I wouldn't hate it if Gulak wins. I've liked his character really since he dropped the whole PowerPoint stuff, and that's been a while. But he's been exceptional on 205 Live. Tozawa I've always liked, and I don't have an issue with him. But I think Nice is gonna get at least another couple months, maybe up until SummerSlam with the title, just because that's what they seem to do with that title is establish the champion a little bit.
Fair enough. Yeah, and I wouldn't doubt that. I just, it kind of feels like they've treaded water with Gulak for so long, and he's really good. And I keep thinking, like, if he doesn't get the title soon, it's going to be, like, way too late when he eventually does. But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Nice retained. I'm kind of thinking it's time for Gulak, and I hope it is. But we shall see what happens. And I agree, it'll probably be really good. They'll work hard. The crowd won't be in it at the beginning. They'll eventually work them into it. It'll be like every 205 Live match. They'll work their asses off until they make people care. Because it's not like the company's helping them make people care. So, but yeah, looking forward to it. It's and again, all three guys really good. So, no complaints. Next up, Big E and Xavier Woods will face Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Your thoughts?
Should be good. All four of these guys are great. Xavier's singles match against Dolph Ziggler on Tuesday was really good. Xavier, I don't want to say he's underrated because it seems like a knock against the guy. I think a lot of people know how good he is. He just doesn't get to show it too often, but every time he's in the ring, like, he always delivers. Big E's great, Sammy's great, Kevin's great. Should be a good match. Probably won't get a ton of time. I'm of two minds of this match in that it seems like Owens and Zayn should win because they took losses on television this past week. But at the same time, you need title challengers for Bryan and Rowan. And New Day against Bryan and Rowan is a very easy story to tell with the history with Bryan and Kofi, and now New Day going after the tag team titles and trying to have New Day hold all the gold on SmackDown. So it could go either way. I'm leaning towards a New Day victory to set up the Bryan and Rowan program.
Fair point on the tag division because it is weak outside of the champions. Yeah, on the Xavier Woods thing, I think it's not so much underrated but underappreciated because you look at New Day and Kofi's the champion and the guy that's been there forever. Everybody looks at Big E as this, he's an awesome power guy and he's really charismatic. And then, like, I think a lot of people look at Xavier Woods like, yeah, he's the video game guy that, like, has cool hair sometimes. And they don't think much of him until, like, you see a match like he had Tuesday night and it was real good. And, he just, when he gets a chance, he obviously shines. And he and Big E work really well together as a team. They usually deliver on pay-per-view. Kevin and Sammy are great. Obviously, a lot of history as a team as well. So, yeah, this could be very good to great depending on how much time they get and how much freedom they get. You make a great point about the New Day win. But I think Kevin and Sammy just desperately need a win because they've been fucking beaten like drums. And they're just, if they don't win at all, they have like no viable credibility as heels, as a threat going forward. Because they really haven't won much at all since they've been back. And I think they really need a win here, especially after losing it twice on TV this week. And hopefully this has not made a random 2 out of 3 falls match for no reason.
I like that WWE is just adding stipulations that don't seem to add anything to the match. In these past 2 shows, I said on Twitter that it's like they're playing SmackDown versus Raw and playing GM mode. And anytime you play those games, if you add like a stipulation to the match, even if it doesn't make any sense, like it just boosts the match rating. And that's what I think they feel is happening here. It's a weird thing. I do like that they're not doing the traditional heel wins the first fall, babyface comes back. Like they've done clean sweeps on all of this stuff, and that is a nice little break from the usual formula on this. It's random. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but at least they're doing something different with it.
Yeah, I wonder who the hell's been watching like 2 out of 3 falls matches and went to Vince like, I got a great idea, boss. You know, we're to run.
Maybe
we need to do a tag match tonight, and we'll make it 2 out of 3 falls to spice it up. And
do you think that they feel this gives away more wrestling? Because the knock is obviously, hey, there's not enough wrestling in WWE, so they're like, well, this is 2 matches in 1 right here.
That's probably how they justified. Although they totally did the Arena Mexico thing and had like Kofi pin Sammy in 10 seconds for the first fall on SmackDown,
which I liked. I actually that
was fine, but it was like, yeah, that's a like total Arena Mexico thing where they do like a fall in 30 seconds and then like they'll do like a 3-minute second fall and then it's like the third fall is like 20. But no, that was nice and unexpected and it played off of things well. But yeah, it's just. In their mind, it probably like, yes, we're giving them double the wrestling, and they don't even realize it. So, it's good shit, pal.
It's always good shit, pal.
So, next up, U.S. champion Samoa Joe facing Ricochet. On Monday's Raw, Ricochet won a Fatal 5-Way to earn the title shot. Not a lot of background on the match, but I find this a welcome addition to the card. First of all, it's a fresh matchup. Joe will likely be motivated to deliver because he gets to work with someone new, and Ricochet is getting his first major singles pay-per-view match. So, you know he's going to be out to impress, and that boy does some crazy shit. I'm really looking forward to this one. This one feels like it could definitely be very good and possibly even great if they get the time. Joe just got the title back following the Ray injury and the botched finish at the pay-per-view last time and all that, so I don't think a title change is likely because it would feel just like changing it for no reason. But I definitely wouldn't be opposed to it because Ricochet is awesome. But I think Joe retains.
Yeah, I'm torn on this one as well because Joe's a guy who doesn't necessarily need the title. He's great in any aspect, and he's always going to be over and a threat based on his appearance and his work on the mic and his aggressiveness in the ring. And then Ricochet, you could put the title on this guy and you can do a lot of different things with him. You could potentially do the open challenge gimmick again with him, and then you've got the wild card, so you can maybe not have Kevin Owens and Kofi Kingston and Roman Reigns be the guys who show up every week, and you get like a Chad Gable pop up on Raw to answer the open challenge, and you get a Ricochet Chad Gable match, which
yes.
Yeah. So you could do that whole thing. I hope they do get the time because Joe has we've talked about these Joe and Mysterio matches where we were really excited for them, and then something goes wrong and they get like 2 minutes, and it's like, well, that fucking sucks. I hope they're able to get the time in this match because Joe against Ricochet sounds like a banger on paper. If you give them, even like 8 to 10 minutes, they can deliver just based on their styles.
Yeah, and it's the perfect formula too because Joe, it's like we talked about with the Joe and Ray matches as well. Just Joe is such a great fucking bully, and then you have a really athletic and fiery babyface to juxtapose against him, and that just works. You look back at like the Joe and AJ matches in TNA. Fuck Joe versus Chris Sabin, Joe versus Sanjay Dutt. Whenever he worked with someone like that, always worked well because he played his bully role so well, and the other guys were just great athletic, fiery baby faces. So yeah, this definitely has a ton of potential. I really hope they get the time. I agree that Ricochet obviously could use the win more. especially if they go with like the Fighting Champion Open Challenge stuff, just to get him on TV every week working, 10 to 15 minute matches. Just letting him be Ricochet would be great. So we'll see what happens, but I definitely like the match. Fresh match, definitely has potential. So positive addition to the card for sure.
Just give them time to deliver. That's all I'm asking. Give them at least 8 minutes. That's all I want.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not asking for like 30 minutes, man. If I can get like 10 to 15, that's like a great window. I mean, I would love that. Hopefully there's no fucked up finish in 2 minutes or somebody getting hurt. That's the last thing we fucking need with this title. It's cursed, so. But yeah, hopefully they get the time, because I'm really excited for that. So next up is the Big Dog versus Drew McIntyre. Your thoughts?
It seems like a rebound win for Roman. They've heated up Drew on television by giving him some wins, mainly against The Miz. I don't have an issue with Roman. They're telling the story the wrong way. I really hope that Shane McMahon interferes, and I never thought I would want Shane McMahon more on my television, but I hope he interferes and costs Roman the match, and like let Roman. We talked about this when he lost to Shane, and it was, again, just the wrong story they're trying to tell. But let Roman show a little bit of vulnerability there, losing back-to-back matches on big events. Then he'll come back, he'll overcome everything, and it'll be fine. He'll stand tall. But they've got to do something with Drew. Like they talk about heating this guy up. You hear about they have big plans for him, and then he just keeps losing all of these matches. You've got to give this guy a signature win at some point, and this would be the opportunity to do it. I like the way they've presented Drew lately. I like the way they presented Roman on Raw. Like, fuck talking. He just went back there and whooped some ass, and that's the way Roman Reigns should be presented. I don't know how good the match is going to be. The WrestleMania match was a clunker, but it was Roman's first singles match in many months, and he was coming off the leukemia, so it's tough to hold that one against them. This match, you can't hold the Shane McMahon match against them. That was poorly laid out, and he was wrestling Shane McMahon. I have some hopes that this match will be good. Roman will probably win because that's what they do, but I'm crossing my fingers for some type of Drew McIntyre victory.
Yeah, I'm like not thrilled with the match. The Shane versus Roman stuff feels like a really piss poor attempt to recreate Austin versus McMahon, and in that regard, it's failing because you're not going to get that magic back because Shane isn't Vince in the '90s, and no offense to the Big Dog, he's no Steve Austin. And then these two faced at Mania, and while it wasn't bad, I thought it was disappointing. It feels like Roman gets the rebound win, but I don't think McIntyre can afford another major loss. Because it seems like every time he's about to move forward, it's 10 steps back. And that would be the case again. I hope it's better than Mania. I could see Shane and or Elias getting involved. And McIntyre, honestly, I think should win here, via Roman getting screwed. And then you do the rumored handicap match with like Reigns versus Shane and McIntyre at Extreme Rules with some wacky stipulation. Reigns can finally overcome then and pin Shane. And then they can move on from this, hopefully far, far away, and separate Drew and Roman, which they should be anyway because they are on separate shows.
Are they? I
allegedly
don't remember. I legitimately do not remember. I like this. The perfect setup for this seems to be Shane interferes, and then you do the 2-on-1 handicap match, as you said, at Extreme Rules with some type of gimmick attached to the match, and then Roman pins Shane in the match, and then you move on. And so McIntyre never eats a fall to Roman. He beats him on Sunday, and then Shane eats the fall in the handicap match. Like, that keeps McIntyre protected and strong, and you can come back and do the singles match down the line, maybe when they're on the same brands again or whatever. Yeah, like that seems to be the way to go. That's typically not how WWE will do things.
Yeah, so we will see what happens, but I really feel Drew needs the win badly. So, and they keep like teasing they're going to do things with him. It's like you need to eventually do something. And like I want it to go on, like you said, to where Roman beats Shane, the feud ends, and you get Drew away from Shane. Because there are a lot of people like, I kind of like Drew as Shane's lackey, and I'm like, no, that's kind of the problem. He shouldn't be a lackey. It's like he should be portrayed, if anything, more like an assassin, not a fucking lackey. He's not Elias.
Yeah, I don't.
No fucking offense to Elias, but come on.
I don't view Drew as Shane's lackey. Like I do view him as the muscle of the group, and kind of like, hey, this is my big guy who, if you try to mess with me, he's gonna take you out. Elias is definitely the more like comedy lackey type guy. The problem I have with the whole thing is he's protecting like Shane McMahon, and it's a good story with the wrong people. And then you throw the Miz on there as well, who was just beating like a drum every single week. Like I liked the Miz's promo on SmackDown, criticizing like, you're on television way too much, dude. Like just go away. And it's probably it's definitely what a lot of people feel. The problem with it is you have a Raw guy appearing on SmackDown saying that this guy is taking up too much time on SmackDown. Like, dude, you're not even on this show. Why are you the one delivering this? And then you get beat like a drum anyway. So I like this story. I truly do. They're using the wrong people to deliver this story.
I can agree with that for sure, man. So moving on, SmackDown Women's Championship, champion Bayley defending against Alexa Bliss. Bayley, of course, won the title back at Money in the Bank and is revisiting her old rivalry with Alexa Bliss. Bliss is a wild card, which makes me feel like her chances of winning, even with Nikki Cross in her corner, aren't very good. And honestly, this feels like a redemption angle for Bayley, because if we remember when she was Raw Women's Champion, it was the feud with Alexa Bliss that pretty much cut off and destroyed the Bayley character for a long time because of the poor booking and just bad match layouts and the bad segments and like the attempted at trying to do this is your life bullshit again and all that, and just bad stuff. So Bliss winning the title really doesn't make sense to me right now. Plus, I think I'm more into the whole Alexa Bliss Nikki Cross partnership, relationship stuff. I think it's been a lot of fun and really interesting. It's like, is Alexa just the evil bitch using her? Will she turn on Nikki? Is Nikki using her? What's going to happen? I actually like that. So I'm more concerned with that, but I think Bayley should win and continue her run for a while.
Another match that I'm torn on. Like this show is a lot of rematches, and this is one of the fresher matches, at least in recent memory. And it feels like there's some type of DQ finish where Nikki Cross gets involved or does something, and then you set up the rematch for Extreme Rules, and that's where Bayley gets the revenge. Because wasn't it Extreme Rules last time where they pretty much killed Bayley with the kendo stick?
Yes, that's a very good point. There you go. I like that.
So it comes full circle for Bayley at Extreme Rules next month. That's my inkling that they do here. I'm with you. I love the Alexa Bliss Nikki Cross dynamic. She's a very, very good professional wrestler when it comes to just her mannerisms, her mic work. She's fine in the ring, but she's very good at what she does.
She
Bayley
excels at the character work and everything else on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Nikki Cross has held her own with this story as well. We've seen a different side of her, kind of a more monotone, calm down, but she goes crazy when she needs to. Bayley has shown some good fire in this feud, like snapping like the words that set her off on Tuesday, where it's like, okay, if you're this nice person, like why is that getting to you? If you're this nice person, why are you coming out and sitting ringside for this tag team match that has nothing to do with you just because this person is talking bad about you? They've shown an edgier Bayley in this feud, and I don't know if that's going to continue. But I feel like they are setting up the rematch for Extreme Rules, where that's where Bayley kind of exercises those demons. But I really like this feud. I think they've done an exceptional job with it.
Yeah, I like your layout there, because you could do like the DQ finish, and you can do the DQ finish, and that also adds, because if Nikki Cross gets involved and causes it, obviously Bayley still retains via DQ, and that can cause more drama between her and Bliss and that whole thing. And then, as you said, you come full circle at Extreme Rules. That's actually a really good idea. I like that. They probably won't do it because it's such a good idea, but hey, what do you know? Hopefully they do. No, I like that, though. That's really good. I didn't even think of it like that, but that's definitely a good idea. I like it.
Give me the pen.
That's right. Give me the book, brother. So, next up, we'll stick with the ladies. Raw Women's Championship match. Champion Becky Lynch versus Lacey Evans. Back at Money in the Bank, these two had an okay match. Becky Lynch retained clean as a sheet via submission after a slightly botched ref finish. And then Evans cost her the SmackDown Championship versus Charlotte. They've admitted on TV that Becky beat her clean, and it's just a rematch because Lacey's annoyed her and Becky's still pissed off. And that's fine, but Lacey already lost clean, and if she loses again, she just comes off as a loser. I wouldn't do it, but the title change wouldn't surprise me. But it just doesn't feel like the right time. I don't think Lacey Evans is bad, but I don't think she's exactly a hot character. You know, Becky's still over. I don't think there's a reason to take the title off of her right now. And, yeah, I don't know, but I think Becky should retain. They'll probably do some kind of bullshit finish, too, here, or possibly here as well, to do another rematch. And God knows, I think they're advertised for fucking Clash of Champions in September, too, so fuck, they just may feud for, like, the rest of the year. Who the hell knows?
I wouldn't put too much stock in that Clash of Champions advertising just because that shit always changes. I'm with you that they've almost booked themselves into a corner here. It's tough to beat Lacey on back-to-back shows clean and then have her come off as credible, at least for the next foreseeable future. I don't feel even she was that credible to begin with, because she was the girl who walked out and did nothing, and then she won one match and got a title shot, and then she lost that match, and now I don't think she's won since. Maybe she has, but she gets another title shot for some reason. So she's not credible to begin with. I think her character work is good. She's very good in this role. She's just not a hot character right now. The problem is I also don't think you can beat Becky this soon again. Like, she won WrestleMania. She captured both titles. It was the big moment at WrestleMania. You took one title off of her the very next pay-per-view. Now you're going to take the other title off of her the pay-per-view after that. It almost makes WrestleMania feel meaningless, because within 2 months, you've undone the entire build up to that story, that entire moment of the double champion and Becky being the man. And now she's chasing the titles again. And okay, it's fine, but give her that sustained run and let her not necessarily run through everything, but just give her a good sustained run. Like, Austin didn't chase his entire career. He had lengthy runs with the title. And that's what Becky should have had after WrestleMania. I mean, Austin, his crowning moment was WrestleMania 14. He lost the title win October, the Undertaker feud. Am I remembering that correctly?
I am not sure offhand.
Okay. We're old. Our memories aren't as good as they used to be.
This is true.
I think it was the Undertaker Kane feud where he got screwed out of the title, and that led to the Rock winning the title at Survivor Series, right? That was all 1998. I'm pretty sure my memory is correct on that. So he held the title. Basically, he held the title. He lost it for one night to Kane at King of the Ring, and then he got it back. So he basically held the title from WrestleMania to just before Survivor Series. Here you're taking the belt, two belts, Becky 2 belts off of her within 2 months. It's a little bit too much. I feel Becky wins. Lacey, you can kind of afford to cool her off because she wasn't that hot to begin with.
Yeah, like you said, I agree. They kind of booked themselves into a corner with it, and it'll be interesting to see how they handle it. But yeah, it's I think it'd be a mistake to have Lacey lose, but then again, it's a mistake to have Becky lose. So creative finish maybe in order here. We'll see what happens. Speaking of rematches, Universal Champion Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin. This is, of course, your rematch from Saudi Mania 3. The match was pretty solid, but had a completely dead crowd, and a poorly done finish where the babyface essentially got help to win from the ref setting up this match. I really have no desire to watch another Baron Corbin-style main event match. They've been teasing that he is going to have a special guest referee. At the time of this podcast, they have not announced that. We'll see what happens. Hopefully with a livelier crowd and having worked together previously, this match will be better. I could see Brock or Heyman being the special referee to play into the possible cash-in. But I don't know. I just think it's probably going to end in an overbooked mess. Hopefully Seth wins and Baron Corbin does not. And hopefully we can move on from Baron Corbin for a long time.
Put the title on Baron Corbin, you cowards.
You shut your whore mouth.
Put the title on this man. Fuck Seth Rollins. Give me Baron Corbin going to TGI Fridays with the belt and the double vest, making fun of all the random patrons who were there, bragging, saying, yeah, I used to wait tables here. Now I'm the champion. Now wait on me. This is good shit, pal.
You probably just gave Vince his next angle. Good job.
He's going to listen to this podcast and be like, the Bailey Alexa idea, sure, whatever. But that Baron Corbin idea, gotta use that one.
Goddamn, pal.
Rollins will and should win this match. I don't think this match is going to be that bad. I don't know who the special guest referee is going to be. It's they were supposed to announce it on Monday and never did. I do like the angle of Rollins just bashing everyone with a chair. It kind of gave Rollins that, again, a little bit of an edge as a babyface, and I'm completely fine with that. The match should be fine. I think they had a good match at Super Showdown. Just the Saudi crowd didn't really care. I don't know if there's going to be enough people in this crowd to care. Rollins will win. Who do you think will be the special guest referee? Because I have an idea, and I don't know why they wouldn't have gone with this idea, but actually announced it.
I honestly have no idea. Tell me yours.
Well, mine was, and it seems like a simple idea, is like it's Brock. But if you're going to do Brock based on ticket sales, which are reportedly not good, why wouldn't you announce Brock?
Yeah, exactly.
To have him show up on Sunday would just be like, wow, you kind of left some money on the table there. And that's why I don't know if it's going to be Brock. Outside of that, I'm kind of with you. I don't have any early idea who it's going to be. Maybe it'll be Earl Hebner.
You're going to break that AEW contract for a WWE payday.
I mean, Earl would do it.
Well,
Earl's going to whoever's paying him some cash.
I mean, this is a guy that, went 20 years selling I Screwed Brett shirts. So, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, Earl is going. Whoever's buying him, buying the 2-for-1 T-shirts off of him. That's where he's going.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, and I'm just afraid it's gonna break into a total shit fest overbooked match with the whole special ref stuff. But we will see what happens. And the final match in yet another rematch: WWE Champion Kofi Kingston defending against Dolph Ziggler. A rematch from Saudi Mania 3 where valiant babyface Dolph Ziggler was screwed out of winning the title by the nefarious heels The New Day because Xavier Woods got involved. I mean, in all honesty, that's basically what happened. It was a complete instance of back-asswards booking, and we get a rematch inside a steel cage. And I've said this like 100 times, 90% of WWE cage matches suck. They have no structure. They usually don't keep anybody out. There's usually not a lot of heat. Everybody dances around so we don't get accidental blood. And I'm not saying anybody needs to blade and do a gusher. What I'm saying is can we just have a match where they fucking go at it, and if somebody gets accidentally busted open, just have the ref wipe it off like you always fucking do. It's not a big deal, okay? I get not wanting blading. I'm fine with that. But the thing is, when you have them like tiptoeing around and working like they're on eggshells and afraid, it really kills the flow and energy of a cage match, which should be heated in theory. So I hope that I'm wrong. I hope they succeed here. I hope they have a great match. I don't know if they will, but I hope that they do. They need to overcome the lack of believability that many have in Ziggler actually winning. If they can actually do that, that will lead to a success. But Kofi should retain because I just can't imagine Dolph being the champion right now.
Dolph isn't winning this match. They would be crazy to put the title on Ziggler. They've built Kofi really, really well. I don't know if you saw the stat that he's won like 40 straight matches and like 18 straight televised matches. Like this guy, they've put this guy over so strong on television with all these victories, even on I guess it was SmackDown, where he hit the Trouble in Paradise immediately on Sami Zayn and got the victory. Like they put his finish over right there. It's like, yeah, this guy
that's the thing. It's amazing in pro wrestling, Jeremy, is that if you build somebody up through a series of wins with an established move, and you get the crowd to care about them with a good story, and then after you've done a story, you keep having them win with this move that is beating everybody, they get credibility. It's an amazing thing.
WWE not always good at doing that. So the fact that they've done it with Kofi Kingston is very surprising, because that's usually reserved for, I mean, in the last however many years, Roman and Cena, that's like it. But they're giving Kofi that build right now, and it's honestly flown a little bit under the radar. Like I'm not like, and that's good. Like I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It has not been forced and shoved down your throat. Like, oh, this guy's overcoming the odds. Like he's just out there, and he, like, it's been so organic and natural, and it's amazing when that happens. It's the Kofi story is one of the best stories, maybe the best story in professional wrestling as far as on screen goes this year, and they've almost lucked into it. But I give them credit because they've really turned it into something, and they've kept this guy strong. You know, we thought when he won the title, he would just kind of be maybe a fluke joke champion, and it's been nothing like that. Like this guy has been booked really strong. That's why I can't see Ziggler beating him here. I think the match will be fine. I like Kofi's work. I think Ziggler does good work as well. I don't know how the cage match stipulation is going to work, because as you said, WWE cage matches are usually pretty bland as of late, and it's not even just the blood. It's just the stipulation doesn't work. Nobody stays out or nothing. My idea is that they're climbing. Kofi gets a hold of him, and then Ziggler and his slick ass hair slips through the hands of Kofi, and then Ziggler wins. What do you think?
That sounds amazing. That's almost as good as the way Shane won. It's
Baron
almost.
Corbin and Dolph Ziggler as your world champions.
Well, that would be something. That would make me want to not watch anymore. But, yeah, so we'll see what happens. I hope, I mean, they're talented, man, so hopefully it's a good match, and hopefully it has some good heat to it, but, yeah, I don't buy Dolph, so hopefully they can create some spots where it's believable that he can win to make it feel worth it. And Kofi, I largely agree with it. The Kofi stuff has been really good. I have seen some people every once in a while doing, oh, look, Super Kofi won again. He kicked out of 3 Blue Thunder Bombs. If it was anybody else, they would cry that they kicked out of 3 Sami Zayn finishers. And I'm like, well, the Blue Thunder Bomb isn't his finish. But, okay, go ahead.
The Blue Thunder Bomb has beaten like one person.
Exactly.
In Sammy's entire run.
Exactly. So, and I think you're ignoring the real greatest story in wrestling, which is the drunk American knife pervert Jon Moxley adopting his Japanese son Shota Umino.
Yeah, that's a good story as well.
that is amazing, dude. I love that.
That is really good as well. I will give you that one.
No, but no, the Kofi. You're right there. The Kofi story is in really well, and it is amazing what happens when someone gets organically over. Then the company gets behind them, and then, like I said, you establish them by having them beat people with an established finish. It's like, hey, look, this guy's a star. This guy's the champion. He hit his fucking move. He's going to win. It's like, holy shit, yes, that's how you build a star. So, yeah, it's been very nice to see. And like you said, it's nice because they don't always follow up and do it well. And they have here, and hopefully, I like the Kofi title run. I'm not going to say it's this, like, over-the-top excellence, but I like a lot of the matches. I like Kofi's energy. I like a lot of the promo stuff. And it's been fun, and it was nice to get a really great payoff at Mania with a good story, and then the fact that they've been able to continue it. So, yeah, Kofi should definitely win here, and that will be the Stomping Grounds 2019 card. Do you think Rollins and Corbin main events because of the special referee stip, or do you think the steel cage match main events?
Neither of them, and it's a lot on Corbin and Ziggler.
Yeah.
Like, neither match feels like a big main event to me. That's sort of my problem with this show is no match really feels like, hey, this match should be the main event. Bayley and Alexa is probably my main event, and that might end in a DQ. I think Corbin and Rollins probably ends up main event because of the special guest referee stipulation, especially if they don't reveal it beforehand. So you get this big reveal at the end that'll probably be a letdown, but it'll be like Seth overcoming and keeping the title. So I would guess that title main events.
That's what I'm thinking too, because I also think they want to keep the possible Brock cash-in tease going. And if that's the last match and Brock hasn't shown up yet, depending on the referee thing, it kind of makes sense to go ahead and main event with that. So,
Paul Heyman is sort of the other option as the special guest referee. He said he wasn't going to do it on Raw, but Paul Heyman is a known liar, so he got out of getting bashed with a steel chair by Seth Rollins. So if Paul Heyman wanders out there and is the guest referee, like, that would make some sense to me. And yeah, then you get the possibility of the Brock tease as well.
Fair enough. So that is the Stomping Grounds preview. Make sure you join us on Sunday night for full coverage of the pay-per-view, and then Jeremy and I will be recording a post-show wrap-up after that. And real quick, before we move on to G1 talk, remember you're listening to the 411 on Wrestling podcast. You can follow us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, and of course the 411mania.com website. Make sure to subscribe and share, and if you have time, leave a 5-star review on iTunes. So Jeremy, next we are going to talk about the New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax 29. And the field has been announced. And all the main matches have been announced, and we're going to kind of take a look through here and talk about some potential bangers here on this tour, which there is going to be a lot. First of all, I want to look at A Block, and we'll list off A Block and tell me if you feel anybody is missing. We have Kota Ibushi, Kenta, Okada, Tanahashi, Ospreay, Archer, Evil, Bad Luck Fale, Sonata, and Zack Sabre Jr. representing Block A. Anybody in there you really don't want, and somebody you feel maybe should be in their place?
Suzuki should always be in the G1. I realize that the man is older, and maybe he doesn't want to go through the G1 grind, but it's also Minoru Suzuki, so he should always be in the G1. I have to pull up the list for myself, and I'm very behind as my computer runs super slow right now. Give me one moment, and I will tell you who I don't like in this block. I like the block overall. I know the first night in Dallas is going to be Block A, and we're getting some really strong matches out of that. I like Lance Archer's inclusion. I know some people have been upset about that, but he's done a lot of good work promoting this show. We saw it in the New Japan Cup where he had that great match against Ospreay, and they're doing the rematch in Dallas on night one, and they'll probably have another great match here. And I think he can have some good matches, especially with the people in this block. Fale is the guy who sticks out like a sore thumb, but as we kind of talked about previously, you need those nights off. And Fale is a night off for a lot of guys, and he's always presented strong in this tournament. Like, he always ends up with like 8 to 10 points or something is his usual average. Kevin Kelly will remind everyone what his usual average is. So he's always presented as a strong option. So a win over him does mean a little something. Overall, like, I like this block. It's a really strong block.
Yeah, the thing with Fale is I hope they don't repeat the bullshit booking from last year with all the DQ stuff, and that was just annoying night after night. He usually does really well with Tanahashi and Okada because they drag the best out of him. I'm sure Ospreay and Ibushi will pull some good stuff out of him. But, if I had a choice, I'd definitely boot Bad Luck Fale for Suzuki or Kojima. And I like Lance Archer in here too, because he had a banger with Ospreay in the New Japan Cup, and he years ago when he was in the G1, I think probably 2014, he had some really, really good and great stuff, and hopefully he can recapture some of that. He looks extra motivated, and like I said, he's done a lot of work locally to promote the show. So yeah, so night one in Dallas, Jeremy. I want you to give me banger, good, or other. We'll go match by match. Sonata versus Zack Sabre Jr.
You there?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I think I had my microphone muted. Probably banger.
Okay. I think definitely has banger potential. Evil versus Bad Luck Fale.
Other.
Okay. Will Ospreay and Lance Archer.
Banger.
Same. Okada and Tanahashi.
It's Okada and Tanahashi. Like, it's gonna be a banger.
Okay. Kota Ibushi versus Kenta.
The Kenta thing is we're gonna see, but it's tough to envision Kota Ibushi having a bad match. So most likely a banger.
Yeah, I think Kenta looks extra fucking fired up. He's in good shape. Hopefully he has the WWE stank off of him after just that bad run, which was the injuries and lack of motivation and everything, and between that and the booking. So hopefully we see some glimpses of the old Kenta, because there's definitely a lot of chances for him to have great matches. Night 2, which is going to be on the 13th, B block, Hiroki Goto versus Jay White.
Hey, let's run down the B block.
Okay, Goto and Jay White, Juice Robinson and Shingo, Naito and Yano, Tomohiro Ishii and Jeff Cobb, Big Lads, and Jon Moxley and Tai Chi.
Tai Chi could go, because Tai Chi can always go. Otherwise, this is a it's another good block. There's so much talent in this G1, and Yano, a lot of people are going to be upset about him, but again, you need those nights off, and Yano is that night off for everyone. And Tai Chi might even be considered a night off, but everyone else, like, you're getting a great match out of everyone else.
Agreed. And Yano's run last year was actually a ton of fun when he was doing Fair Play Yano and trying to actually wrestle and stuff, and it was a lot of fun. So hopefully he can recreate some of that, because I don't mind the short Yano matches because they're really nice on those early mornings sometimes. Knock out like a 3-minute match and move on to the next thing. So, yeah. So, okay. So we'll go Goto versus Jay White. Banger, good, or other?
Probably good. Goto, I don't even recall the last time he's wrestled. Like, he's been off the last couple of tours, but Jay White's really good. So probably good.
Yeah, definitely good. Juice Robinson and Shingo.
Again, probably good, maybe creeping towards banger. Shingo's awesome. Juice is very good, but I don't see it as like a classic, at least on paper.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Probably very good to banger territory. Naito and Yano.
Banger.
Big Tom Ishii versus the wholesome wrestle lad Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, definite banger.
Fuck yes. John Moxley and Tai Chi.
Yeah. Probably good. I think Tai Chi will kind of show the same side of himself that we saw against Ishii, which would be in his best interest. And I mean, Moxley's gonna have his work cut out for him here.
I agree. It definitely has a chance to be ugly, I will say that, but hopefully not. Night 3, back to A Block, Tanahashi and Kenta.
Probably good. That could be upgraded to banger based on how Kenta looks against Kota Ibushi, and if Tanahashi will probably be motivated, but we say this about Tanahashi every year. Like, what kind of condition is he in?
Yeah, exactly. I think optimistically good, and obviously if both guys are feeling good and everything's working well, possible banger. Kota Ibushi and Evil.
Probably good.
I think that's in banger territory for me. Okada versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Banger.
Definitely. Ospreay and Sonata.
Banger.
Fuck yes. Lance Archer versus Bad Luck Fale.
Other.
Yeah. Definitely has a chance to be ugly. Naito versus Tai Chi, night 4.
I hated their match from, what was it, King of Pro Wrestling? I hated that match last year. Probably other.
That's fair. They did have one match that I really, really did like. So definitely has that weird middle ground territory, because that's a lot of Tai Chi matches, though, because it depends on if you're getting shitty cliche heel Tai Chi or if you're getting Dangerous T. So hopefully we get Dangerous T because it's Naito, and hopefully at least good. Big Jeffrey Cobb and John Moxley.
Banger.
Fuck yes. Juice Robinson and Goto.
Probably good.
Definitely good. Could be a banger, though. It has a lot of potential. Jay White and Big Tom Ishii.
Banger. Jay White, best wrestler in the world.
I'm telling Shane Taylor you said that.
Shane Taylor or Shane McMahon?
Shingo Takagi versus poor Toru Yano.
Banger. Any Yano match is going to be a banger.
I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those sneaky Yano wins.
Yeah, very possible. Yano's gonna pick up a victory or two where it's like you don't quite expect it, and Shingo, they got the loss off of him, so you don't have to protect him quite as much anymore. So yeah, it's definitely possible that Yano kind of sneaks away with a win here.
You gotta hit him in the Dragon Balls and crate them all up, man. Night 5, Ibushi versus Ospreay, a Wrestle Kingdom rematch.
Oh my God, I don't want anyone to die in this match. That's all I'm asking for is nobody die in this match.
Yeah, but it's going to be a fucking banger.
It's going to be a banger that I'm worried about this match though. I hope that they're protective because we've seen Ospreay, we've seen Ibushi, and we know what they're willing and capable of doing if they want to. It's a long tournament, boys. This is like the third match. You don't have to kill each other.
Yeah, I'm not as worried about Ospreay as much because he's been much better about that stuff. But yeah, Ibushi likes landing on his head though.
Ibushi likes landing on his head, and I agree with you that Ospreay's toned it down a little bit, but if he sees Kota trying to kill himself, he's a guy who wants to top himself, so he might try to do the exact same thing.
Tanahashi versus Zack Sabre Jr.
It'll be good. I don't know. Banger implies that it's like almost high intense action the whole time, and this will be more like it'll be a methodical banger. How about that?
That's fair enough. And I agree. They always have pretty great matches, so definitely looking forward to that. The big LIJ clash, Evil versus Sonata.
It'll probably be good. I'm not super high on Evil, and that's kind of my hesitation here.
Fair enough. I understand that. I think it'll definitely be probably be very good. I don't know if it'll be great banger territory, but I think it just depends on because I find every once in a while Evil to be a little hit and miss. I like him a lot, but he does step up. So, and this is a big match for both guys. Okada and Bad Luck Fale.
It'll be fine, as you said. Okada gets the best out of Fale.
That's right. And Kenta versus Lance Archer.
Probably sneaky good. Assuming Kenta is Kenta, because I like Lance Archer's work. If Kenta's willing to bump around and then show fire, like this could be a nice little big versus little matchup here.
I think sneaky good's a good way of putting it. I like that. Night 6, Big Tom Ishii versus Jon Moxley.
Banger.
Fuck yes. Hiroki Goto versus Naito.
Probably good. This feels like a Naito. I guess he's facing Taichi, the block match before. I'm a little hesitant on this match though.
These guys actually work really well together. I'm going to go banger on this one. Juice Robinson versus Big Jeff Cobb.
Probably good. Maybe potential banger because
Yeah.
Jeff Cobb's really good and Juice can step up his game.
Yeah, I definitely very good the banger potential. Yano versus Jay White, the
Banger.
knife pervert versus the Sublime Master Thief. And then we got Shingo and Taichi.
Fine. It'll probably be good. Shingo's good. Taichi. We're gonna see a lot about Taichi within the first couple of nights on which Taichi we're gonna get. If we get Evil T, then he could have a really good tournament that no one is expecting. If we get boring T, then we're gonna it's gonna suck.
Yeah, I hope we get some fucking dangerous T, man. I want some good matches because he
Dangerous, not evil.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But that's the thing that fucking pisses me off about him is like there are times where he's just the absolute shits. And then like you see like the matches with Ishii and the stuff he's done in the past with Tanahashi and Naito and you're like, why can't you fucking be more like that? It's like you're really fucking good when you do that. So like you said, we're gonna find out a lot about him in this G1. Night 7, Okada and Ospreay.
definite banger.
Agreed. Ibushi and Sonata.
Definite banger as well.
Fuck yes. Tanahashi and Lance Archer.
Potential banger.
Yeah, it definitely has potential. It depends. It depends on how Tanahashi's feeling going in and everything. But yeah, definitely potential here. Kenta versus Evil.
Probably good.
Okay, and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Bad Luck Fale.
Other. Maybe good because I'm a Zack Sabre Jr. mark.
All I know is fucking Taka better be back for the G1 tour.
Oh my god, if we don't get Taka, then this whole G1 is ruined.
I miss Zack Sabre time.
The whole G1 is ruined if Taka... His mouth works, doesn't it? He can't come out there and deliver the Zack Sabre time promo. I don't care if he's on crutches or if his arm's in a sling or whatever his
Wheel him out in
injury
the
is.
wheelchair. Just have him do it from ringside.
Yeah, like now this is the most concerning thing about the G1 if we don't have Taka.
I know. I miss him so much. Moving on to night 8, a match that is usually always a banger: Ishii versus Naito.
Yeah, should be a good one.
Fuck yes. Jon Moxley versus Shingo.
Oh, I'm excited for this one.
Fuck yes.
That should be a real banger, assuming everything goes well.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. Big Jeff Cobb versus the Knife Pervert Jay White.
Possibly a banger. Cobb's good. Again, I love Jay White. This could be. It should be good at the very least, but it has banger potential.
Completely agreed. Goto versus Taichi.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, I haven't been a big fan of their matches in the past. I think we'll get a lot of shitty Taichi in this one probably. And then Juice versus Yano.
It'll honestly be good. Like they have some good comedy chemistry between them. So I actually think this match will be entertaining if nothing else.
Agreed. On the night 9, Okada versus Kenta.
The banger, assuming Kenta is Kenta. Even if Kenta's not, like, it's tough to have a bad match with Okada.
Agreed. Tanahashi versus Sonata. They've had some great ones in the past.
Yeah, Sonata, like, I like Sonata. I always say New Japan is afraid to pull the trigger on this guy. He's not going to win this G1, but this guy turns out really good matches, and this should be no exception.
Gaeto's a coward.
Gato is a coward.
Evil versus Zack Sabre Jr.
It'll probably be fine. Again, Zack Sabre Jr. mark, but not high on Evil, but it's tough to have a bad match with Zack Sabre style.
Big Willie Ospreay versus Bad Luck Fale.
Probably just fine or good because Ospreay is that good, but it's tough to say any Fale match is going to be a banger.
Yeah, I think Ospreay is going to... I have a feeling he's going to be able to get into that Okada, Tanahashi, Nakamura area where he drags like a good to very good match out of Fale. Because he's just been fucking on so much this year. So it'll probably be good. I highly doubt banger, but at least good. And then Kota Ibushi versus Lance Archer.
Potential banger again. Like I'm high on Lance Archer's tournament because he's working with a lot of good guys, and the Ospreay match maybe has clouded my view of him, but he's working with Ospreay again. He's going to be working with Ibushi, Okada. Like, he's working with guys on that level, and he's shown he can raise his game to that level, and this is another chance for him to prove it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of excited for that one too because I think it'll be very similar possibly to the Ospreay Archer match, which is a good thing. Night 10, got a serious one here. Naito and Jon Moxley.
I'm really looking forward to this match. The dynamic between these two will be very interesting. In terms of quality, it'll most likely be a banger. I'm more interested in just the character work and the kind of aesthetics of both men more than the actual quality of the match.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one too. I want to see how they work that one. It'll be really interesting. Juice Robinson versus Big Tom.
Should be good. Maybe reaching banger because Ishii's great and Juice can raise his game.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Jeff Cobb gets his rematch with Taichi.
Their match was fine when Taichi won the title. Nothing spectacular off of my vague memory of it, but should be fine.
Yeah. Chaos goes to battle as Goto battles Yano.
Banger.
Yano with the low blow and cradle, baby. All day long on Goto.
This does feel like a Yano win, honestly.
And then Shingo versus your boy Jay White.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this match. Really looking forward to this match because Shingo's outstanding and Jay White is... No one wants to give him the credit of how good he is, but he's outstanding as well. I think this match, it's not going to be like match of the tournament. Could top Moxley and Naito.
All right, night 11, Kenta versus Sonata.
Should potential banger again. A lot's going to depend on Kenta, but potential banger.
Will Ospreay versus Zack Sabre Jr. These two have had some great fucking outings in the past. Should be a banger with ease.
Yeah, I love both of these guys.
Okada and Lance Archer.
Again, potential banger.
Yeah, love it. I'm really hoping Lance Archer kind of breaks out here because, I mean, I don't expect him to be like a major single star, but with Davey Boy Smith Jr. gone, if he has a really strong G1, it's just going to add another guy you can put in US, IC, and Never title matches and potentially heat up once a year for a world title shot if you need to. And I think he has that ability. So, yeah, definite possible banger here. And looking forward to his tournament, honestly. Tanahashi versus Evil.
It should be fine. Almost feels like a night off for Tanahashi.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I don't feel it's going to be great. And then Kota Ibushi will try to drag something out of the Bad Luck Fale.
Yeah, I hope Ibushi doesn't kill himself. That's my theme of this tournament, is don't kill yourself trying to get Fale over.
Hell yeah. Night 12, Naito versus Juice Robinson. They've done some great stuff in the past. Definite banger potential for me.
Yeah, agreed.
Big Jeff Cobb versus Shingo Haas fight.
Looking forward to this one. It should be just another outstanding match in an outstanding tournament.
Yeah, both guys, love them. Going to be great. Another chaos battle. Ishii versus Goto.
Should be good. Maybe potential banger because Goto can raise his game and Ishii is probably going to have a really strong tournament. So it's a sneaky good match.
Yeah, both guys always step up into G1, so I think definite banger potential. Tai Chi versus Jay White.
It'll be fine.
Probably.
Jay White needs a night off from carrying this entire tournament.
And then what may be the match of the century, Jeremy. Jon Moxley versus Toru Yano.
I hope Moxley comes out with a pooper scooper and they just do Dean Ambrose, Toru Yano comedy bits.
Maybe Moxley can bring out Mitch the Potted Plant.
Yeah, sure.
I just want to see his reaction when Yano removes the buckle pad and tries to attack him. And hope Yano hits him and he just kind of no-sells it like, it's a fucking pad, dude.
It will be interesting to see the Moxley dynamic in this match because is he just going to drop that, basically his whole Dean Ambrose comedy nonsense? I like your idea if he hits him with the pad and Moxley's just like, dude, what the fuck? Like, okay, you just hit me with a fucking pad. They're like, why is this supposed to hurt me? Or will he kind of ham it up a little bit? So I'm looking forward to this match, honestly.
Yeah, it'll probably be fun. Night 13, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kota Ibushi, a rematch from last year's G1 final, which I thought was the best G1 final ever.
Yeah, that match ruled last year, and they probably won't top it here just because the stakes are lower, but still should be a banger.
Okada versus Sonata, a big rematch. I think banger potential, and I think this is where Sonata gets his win.
Gato's a coward. Okada's gonna win.
Nah, I don't know, dude. I think Sonata gets the win here. He needs it desperately. Will Ospreay versus Evil?
Should be fine because Ospreay's great. Probably good. When I say fine, that's fine is grading on the G1 curve of it'll be an unmemorable match in a tournament filled with just outstanding matches.
Fair enough. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Lance Archer in a battle of Suzuki-gun.
Yeah, should be a good match.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Zack work against a much larger opponent too. That's always interesting because that's the best thing about his submission game stuff is that it makes him viable against a lot of different guys. Right. And then hopefully Kenta will survive this match working Bad Luck Fale.
Yeah, yeah. Good luck to Kenta. He might need a night off because if he's going out there to bust his ass and prove himself leading up to this match and throughout the tournament, like he's going to need that night off.
I'm hoping this ends up one of those quick matches because they've done like quick countouts with Fale in the past and stuff for DQs. So probably would be for the best, especially this deep into the tournament for Kenta. It doesn't matter who wins. I just think a short match would be best.
Agreed.
Night 14, we got some real interesting shit going on here, Jeremy. Naito versus Shingo.
It'll be like the match quality. It can't like won't be doubted. It's going to be a great match. But yeah, the LIJ dynamic here will be very interesting to see because Shingo is definitely a guy who doesn't necessarily need to be an LIJ. He can stand on his own or be a leader of his own group. So going up against the leader of LIJ, it's gonna be a fun dynamic.
Yeah, I am very much looking forward to this. Think it'll be great. The OG Knife Pervert Jay White versus Knife Pervert 2.0 Jon Moxley.
Looking forward to this match. I hope they both just come out with knives and then Will Ospreay comes out with a sword and cuts their heads off. I honestly should be good because they're both actually now that I'm thinking about it, could be kind of clunky because they are a little unorthodox in their style and that might not mesh too well.
Yeah, I think that's actually a very fair assessment of the match. Hiroki Goto versus Jeff Cobb, Hoss fight.
Yeah, should be good.
Definite banger potential. Juice versus Tai Chi.
Next.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Ishii versus Yano. These two actually had a really fun match last year when Yano was doing his fair play shtick, and hopefully they can do that again this year. Love it.
Should be a banger. All Yano matches are bangers.
Night 15, Okada versus Evil.
Should be good.
Yeah, they had a really great match the year Evil beat him, and hopefully they can try to recreate some of that. Kota Ibushi and Zack Sabre Jr.
Looking forward to this one. Always
banger.
Love Zack Sabre. Always love Kota Ibushi. And this will be a match where Kota doesn't have to get dropped on his head, but he probably will just because he's Kota Ibushi.
Big match Will Ospreay versus Kenta.
Oh, looking forward to this one too.
Put it in my veins right now. Love it.
Yes. Can't wait for this one.
Tanahashi will try to work his yearly magic against Bad Luck Fale.
Yeah, it'll probably be good because Tanahashi they've got good chemistry and Tanahashi can always play the underneath guy and Fale is a good person to play underneath against.
And then we have Sonata and Lance Archer.
Could be a good match. Again, I like Sonata and Lance Archer could be in for a strong tournament.
Night 16, big match for Jeff Cobb as he faces Naito.
Potential banger, because Jeff Cobb's great and Naito will be working hard this tournament. I assume given as long as his neck doesn't give out on him.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, Jeremy. Big Tom Ishii versus Shingo.
Yeah, another great match.
This will rule the fucking world.
Definite banger.
Love it. Goto versus Jon Moxley.
Good match. Maybe banger, because Goto does step up and Moxley. We'll have to see Moxley. The G1 grind isn't something he's like. The WWE grind is tough. Obviously, it's not quite. I don't think anything's on the level of the G1 grind.
Well, yeah, and to be fair, they're two totally different grinds. I mean, the WWE schedule is just a tedious schedule of tons of travel, but a lot of house show matches are, light work, and a lot of the guys try to lay back and have fun. To whereas a lot of these matches are guys going full out over a short period of time. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how spry he is this late into the tournament.
Yeah.
Juice Robinson versus Jay White.
Probably be good. They have good chemistry against each other.
Yep. And Yano versus Tai Chi.
Definite banger because of Yano carrying Tai Chi to the best match of his career.
Night 17, Okada and Ibushi.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. Looking forward to this one, and we're getting into now like tournament matches where you kind of know how, based on the layout, how these things are gonna shake out. And this is the final night for the A block, and you would assume Okada will be near the top, and Ibushi will probably be near the top as well, given that he's working with Okada on this night.
Agreed. Tanahashi and Osprey.
Same thing, two guys who should be at the top of the leaderboard here, and so the stakes are going to be high in this match, and it'll probably be a great match.
Yeah, definitely loving it. Kenta and Zack Sabre Jr.
Looking forward to this. It'll be different for Kenta, and not necessarily a night off, but something that won't have to be quite as high intensity, because Kenta, it's the same thing with Moxley of that grind. He's never done the G1 before. He's been in WWE for a while. We already know he's kind of made of string at this point anyway. So how is he going to hold up to all of these matches?
Yeah, definitely agree. And then we got Evil versus Lance Archer in a Hossy battle.
Yeah, could be good. The final night for these guys, it's not going to mean anything, but Lance Archer might want to cap off his tournament with the strong performance here.
And then you have Sonata and Bad Luck Fale.
Probably the worst match of the night, and it's not your fault, Sonata.
Fair enough. And then the final night for Block B, Jeff Cobb versus Toriano.
Banger.
Big Tom Ishii versus Taichi.
Will be good, and I've been burying Taichi, but Ishii, we know we're going to get Dangerous T in this one, so I think this will be a good match.
Yeah, Juice Robinson getting his rematch with Jon Moxley.
Well, they had a great match just a couple weeks ago at Best Super Juniors finals, and assuming Moxley is ready to go, and this match, I don't know if Juice is going to be super, like, Juice probably won't be in it too much. Moxley, there might be like an outside shot that this means something for him, but still should be a good match.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's going to be a chance that Mox is in play, and that not only does Juice ruin that for him, but the win gets him his U.S. title rematch. But I'll definitely see what happens.
That makes sense.
Hossy battle, Hiroki Goto versus Shingo.
Outside shot that Shingo, this match means something to him as well, and he'll be motivated to work hard if that's the case. And Goto, he's usually always motivated for this tournament.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And then closing things up, Jay White versus Naito.
And this will be the match that has the most meaning of, this will probably decide the block, I would assume, and it'll probably be a great match just because the drama will be there. The work will be good, but you get the extra factor of just the drama of this potentially siding the block.
So the question now is, Jeremy, who wins Block A and who wins Block B?
Oh, we've talked about this before. It seems like Naito is the pick to win Block B. It feels like it's his block to lose based on everything we know about New Japan booking. Jay White is there. He will obviously be in the mix considering he's facing Naito on the final night. The other guys, I don't really see them because Moxley's not gonna win the block. He might be there near the end, but he's not winning. Juice, he's not winning. Cobb, Yano, Goto, Shingo has an outside shot. Ishii might have an outside shot. Taichi. You look at these guys and it's like, yeah, no one stands out as that's your block winner outside of Naito and Jay White. I will go safe and go with Naito to win Block B. Block A is much tougher to predict because you've got Okada, Ibushi, Tanahashi, and Osprey. So you've got four guys right there. I will go with Big Willie Osprey.
That's actually what I was going with too, because I think to kind of justify the Osprey G1 run, you go ahead and you get him in the finals, and then you have a potentially epic final with him and Naito, with Naito going over, heading to the Dome, And then, because like Ibushi's like the second shot for me, and I think that there's definitely a chance with him, but I think they may want to shy away from a fourth Ibushi Naito match this year and save that for later on, and hopefully they don't kill each other. So I'm definitely I'm going Ospreay and Naito with Naito winning, but I would not be surprised if Ibushi sneaks in there.
That was my thinking as well. Is Ibushi does seem like a logical choice to win the block. My issue is if Jay White or if Naito wins his block, doing Naito and Ibushi again, even though it'll be a great match, we've seen that a lot, and it just doesn't feel like that's something. I mean, New Japan does it. They'll give you these matches that you've seen a few times, but for the most part, and I'm mainly talking about Okada and Sonata, but for the most part, they like to stay away from giving you the same match 30 times a year. And this would be the fourth Naito and Ibushi match in 6 months, maybe a little bit more than that. So it feels like they'll want to stay away from that, and that's why I ultimately went with Will Ospreay. Now, if Jay White wins Block B, but I guess we won't know who wins Block B before we know who wins Block A. So that might actually give you insight of whoever wins Block A, might give you more insight of who could win Block B for the final night. But if Jay White wins Block B, you could go with Ibushi winning Block A. So they've certainly got options, and that's always good.
Yeah, that's kind of my secondary choice as well. I think it makes a lot of sense to do either one. I think Naito, though, I think you really need to kind of tell that story, though, and give him that big dome win, which a lot of people are still upset that he didn't get the last time. So it'll hopefully we will see what happens, and that works out well. But Jeremy, I am fucking excited for this tournament, brother.
Oh, it's gonna be good. It is a grind. You know that better than anybody. And this year there's less matches that you feel you can miss and take the. You review everything live, so you don't take any of this stuff off. But in previous years, you get your Yanos, your Fallets, your what's his name, Yano's partner, whose name Maccabees. Last year, like Tamatonga, like you get all these guys, and it's like, all right, you can skip these matches. They're nothing. Like there's a lot less of that this year, and it's going to be tough to miss this stuff because this tournament is a stacked tournament. So it's going to be a great tournament. It's going to be a long tournament, but it'll all be worth it in the end. G1 is always fun.
Yeah, it's honestly for me, it's like the most wonderful time of the year. And if you don't watch a lot of New Japan, but you're someone who just can appreciate really, really great wrestling, this is the time to jump into New Japan World for a month. This is the time because you don't have to watch live and you don't have to watch the whole shows because you can just skip the first half of the show, which are the undercard tags, and just watch the tournament matches. And I try to give recommendations on every review, not just the star ratings, but I'll also say if you're cherry picking, these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches you need to see this night. But it's I know a lot of people that get into New Japan through the G1 because they just want to see a lot of great wrestling. And that's what you're going to get. And I am just really looking forward to it as always.
Yeah, you get great wrestling. You get long-term stories being told because this tournament lasts a month, and so there's different threads woven in and out throughout the tournament. You're paying for, I guess you'd be paying for 2 months of New Japan World because it starts in early July and ends kind of middle of August, so technically 2 months. So you're paying $20 to get this entire G1, and you will most certainly get your money's worth because you're going to get at least, just the finals will probably be a classic. Opening night, there's usually, for both blocks, there's usually a classic in each block. The final night, there's usually a classic in each block. Like, you're going to get at least 5 classic matches, and that's just based on tournament learning history. That doesn't even count. Just you look at the matchups that we all ran through, and we told you how many potential bangers there should be in this tournament. So you're paying $20 for at least 5 classics and so much more. So it's worth it.
And not only that, too, for those of you that kind of like the track things, it's like the G1 always pumps out a lot of your top, like, match of the year caliber, the top matches of the year. And for a lot of people, really locks in, like, your candidates for, like, wrestler of the year, most outstanding performer of the year, because, like the past couple years, like, guys like Ishii just run through this tournament with, like, an insane series of bangers. And then, like, Will Ospreay just had, like, pretty much the greatest Best of Super Junior run in terms of overall match quality in the history of the fucking tournament. And now he's going to have a chance to do it again in the G1 in an insanely stacked block. Okada, Tanahashi, Kenta, even Archer and him. I mean, because they had a great match already. So it'll be really interesting to see just how everything works out. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Going to be a long grind. Make sure you join me for the reviews. It's going to be fun. And as Jeremy and I podcast through the month, we'll try to give our takes on a lot of the G1 stuff. And it's definitely going to be a good time, Jeremy.
I would be shocked if Will Ospreay doesn't lock up Wrestler of the Year with this tournament based on his Super Junior run and just how good this guy is and the block overall. Like it's his to. I think he's already the leader in the clubhouse thanks to the Best of the Super Juniors run, and now you give him all that he has to work with in the G1. Yeah, I think he's gonna lock everything up after this. But yeah, it's gonna be a great tournament, and it'll be fun to wake up early every morning to watch these matches again.
And then you look at some of the Ospreay stuff outside of New Japan. He had the Bandito match over WrestleMania weekend. He had the A-Kid match, and I think it was in Spain, which just got a ton of buzz and was excellent. And then you add that into like just everything else he's done, and yeah, definitely he's making a strong fucking case for himself. And the G1 will definitely be another chance for him to just add to that resume. So Jeremy and I will be back late Sunday night after the Stomping Grounds pay-per-view. We will review that show, and then we will preview the ROH Best in the World show and the AEW Fyter Fest show. And so I want to thank you guys for joining us. Remember, you can follow the 411 on Wrestling Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, and the 411mania.com website. Jeremy, anything you have in closing?
No, I'm looking forward to previewing ROH Shane McMahon.
There you go. So we will have a good time. And again, thank you guys for listening. If you have time, subscribe and share us around. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. And until next time, have a great week and happy wrestling.